Okay, so I just seen the Fantastic Four, and we're just gonna watch this reaction from the Critical Drinker as he goes through his points and he goes through his synopsis, and then I'll come back and I'll do my reaction afterwards, or I'll give my thoughts after checking out the Critical Drinker. So let's go in and check it out.
Great three-way battle for dominance at the July box office. I don't think many people were giving Fantastic Four great odds. Not only was it going up against a juggernaut like the Jurassic World franchise, which somehow keeps churning out billion-dollar movies despite becoming the dinosaur equivalent of the Fast and Furious, only less coherent, but it was also competing directly against James Gunn's Superman by James Gunn, a movie so insanely hyped up that you could almost forget there were actually other films coming out this summer. And it wasn't exactly taking on these competitors from a position of strength either. The MCU is a brand struggling for relevance and direction these days, let down by two disappointing flops already this year, and a TV show so terrible that even Marvel tried to bury it for years. And as if all that wasn't bad enough, the film itself was dogged by controversy, rumours of panicked reshoots and rewrites, terrible test screenings, girl bosses and political pandering. And of course, the whole thing was built around Pedro Pascal, the most overexposed and overhyped actor in Hollywood history. All of this is to say that Fantastic Four felt like it was counted out before the fight even began. But here's the funny thing, dear viewer. It's actually pretty fucking good.
You got me shitting me!
In the quiet words of the Virgin Mary, come again.
I mean, let's not go nuts here. It's not a great movie by any stretch. It's not going to change the world or save the MCU. Superhero movies totally aren't back because of this one film, and there's definitely issues with it. The antagonists aren't very well developed, there's a bit too much convenience driving the plot forward, and you can tell the third act's been chopped up in editing. But for the most part, I think the good far outweighs the bad in this case. The four leads were likeable and easy to get invested in, the plot was simple but effective for building up the stakes and tension, the gloriously retro-futuristic world was a nice break from the visual diarrhea that we're used to seeing, the dreaded Marvel humour was massively toned down, there was no girl bossing or pandering like the rumours suggested. Damn man, even Pedro Pascal did a pretty good job as Reed Richards.
No way!
I can't quite believe I'm saying this about a Marvel movie in 2025, but credit where credit's due, I quite liked Fantastic Four. The movie opens on an alternate version of Earth with a brisk and breezy intro that explains the origin of the Fantastic Four in a quick, simple summary that works neatly in context. Unlike a fucking wall of text, James. After their first journey into space that gave them all superpowers, the team are now heroes and global celebrities who use their powers for the good of humanity. All great stuff, until one day the Silver Surfer crashes the party by announcing that Earth has been marked for death, and Galactus is on his way to eat the fucking planet. Not good news, so the gang head into space with a heavily pregnant Sue Storm to intercept Galactus and either negotiate a peaceful settlement or find a way to destroy him. Galactus easily captures them though and offers them a simple choice. Hand over Sue's unborn son and he'll leave Earth alone, or refuse and he'll kill them all and eat their planet anyway.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Naturally, they're not particularly keen on this deal, so they bail the fuck out of there and return to Earth. And for some reason, Reed Richards tells everyone exactly what went down.
You are the dumbest smart person I have ever met in my life.
Like, how do you imagine they're gonna take it when they realise you're the reason Earth is about to get eaten by a giant cosmic demon gods? Anyway, with Galactus on his way and their popularity on the downslide, the race is on to find a way to either defeat him or escape before he gets there. But does the answer really lie with a desperate plan to hide the entire planet, or does the Silver Surfer hold the key to stopping him? Now, there's a lot I want to say about this film, and for once, I want to start with the good news. Oh, and I'm probably going to dip into spoilers here, so consider yourself warned. Anyway, the first piece of good news is that most of what was leaked about this movie was either wrong or massively exaggerated. Sue Storm isn't some annoying girl boss who dominates every situation. The movie doesn't pander to gender politics or knock down the male characters just to big up the ladies, and the finale isn't just her and the Silver Surfer saving the day single-handed. Everyone gets stuff to do throughout the film, it's very much a team effort and all four of them have a role to play. Well, maybe not so much the Thing, but really, how much can you do with a fucking walking fucking boulder that punches things. Reed leads the way when it comes to science and technology, while Sue is more of a maternal presence over the team, and that's fine. It's a collaboration, not a competition, which is how it should be. Johnny Storm is way less annoying than the trailers made him out to be, and he's actually pretty smart and makes a key discovery that helps him understand the Silver Surfer's true nature. Yeah, I think the movie could have given them more scenes together to flesh out their relationship, but I'll get more into that later. And believe it or not, I also have to give props to Pedro Pascal.
Fuck.
Whatever you might think of his public persona or Hollywood trying to push him into absolutely everything, one thing you can't deny is that he's a pretty fucking good actor, and when he's given the right role to work with, he can do great things. I actually liked his portrayal of Reed Richards. He's smart, composed and logical, and despite what the rumours would have you believe, he's never pussified or pushed to the side in favour of Sue Storm. There's a real theme of family, loyalty and teamwork running throughout the narrative, and holy shit, after all the weirdly sterile, sexless, joyless, loveless relationship that we've had to put up with in recent years, it was like some wild acid trip to have a movie that revolves around a husband and wife who love each other and the child that they're about to bring into the world. We've actually reached the point where a bog standard nuclear family dynamic is some crazy revolutionary concept now. Another thing I appreciated about Fantastic Four was how removed it was from the rest of the MCU and its bullshit convoluted storylines. For once, I didn't have a laundry list of movies and TV shows I needed to catch up on just to understand what the fuck was even happening here. It's just a neat, self-contained story, and I liked that. On the downside, probably my biggest issue with the film is the Silver Surfer, but not for the reasons you might think. Honestly, I don't much care if she's male or female because she's a fucking space alien made out of liquid metal. My problem is that I wanted the movie to do a bit more with her. I wanted to know more about her mindset and motivations, her personality, how she sees the world and how she feels about what she does. As it stands, she's not in the movie enough for me to form much of an opinion about her at all, and her redemption arc feels kind of unearned because there's a lot of connective tissue missing. Probably because it was left on the cutting room floor, but I'll get back to that shortly. It's much the same problem with Galactus. I mean, don't get me wrong, he looks awesome, and Ralph Ineson does great work with the voiceover, even if I wish he would have kept his Yorkshire accent. Hey up lass, give me baby or I'll eat your planet. Ah, that's champion. Again though, the problem is that the movie doesn't tell us a whole lot about him. He's just big and hungry and he eats planets, I guess, and he wants baby Franklin to somehow take over his role one day. Like, I've literally got no idea how that's even meant to work functionally, and I don't get the impression you're meant to think about it too much. It's a testament to how much I enjoyed this film though, that my biggest gripes are the things missing that I wanted to see more of, rather than the stuff already in it that I hated, and I get the impression there was originally a longer cut of this film that gave us more of those all-important character moments and connective scenes. Whether it was a panic in studio trying to course correct after negative feedback, or just a desire for a shorter runtime, I'm not sure, but the end result is a slightly rushed, timid sort of movie that could have been something really special with just a bit, well, more. As it stands though, Fantastic Four is a surprisingly decent movie that does what it does with just enough flair and heart to get you invested, and that probably would have been considered thoroughly mid a decade ago. But in these dark days of cinema, well, it's by far the best superhero film of 2025. Make of that what you will. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Now that we've heard what the critical drinker had to say, I'm just going to put my thoughts when it comes to this movie. I'm actually surprised. It was actually better than I thought. And I do agree with them that it is the best movie that they've done so far, like superhero movie, right? The Fantastic Four definitely didn't have any of the woke stuff. I think like most of the stuff was overblown about the girl boss, like the Silver Surfer, as in the female version of the Silver Surfer. I think it was overblown because they made it look like it was going to be very girl bossy, and Sue Storm was going to be like the leader of the Fantastic Four. I'm happy to say that that's not the case, right? But she does play an important role in the movie, especially because Galactus is coming for the son, right? So as a mother, obviously she's going to be super protective over her kids. Not to say that the father is not. And Pedro Pascal, even though like I don't like his politics, I don't like what he stands for, but as an actor, he's actually pretty good. I think most of the people that were put in this movie were actually cast very well, right? I still think that Jessica Alba was the hottest version of, Sue Storm, but I do like this current actress, like the way she acted in the movie, is pretty good. I think Galactus was definitely awesome. It looked great. I wish like he would have done a little bit more, but you could see some of his powers, and this guy's had nothing for him, right? You could see the scale of, like when he comes in the city and then he walks there. But I still think, the way the movie ended, not to give any spoilers or whatever, he could have done more with his size. We know like he can go, bigger than that, right? But it worked well for the movie, right? And I think as much as I don't like Pedro Pascal, I think he'll be okay as leader of the Avengers, right? Or the new Avengers as they are currently constructed. I think he'll be a good leader, definitely, for the Doomsday movie. Now, I can kind of see like why they didn't have Doom in there, because obviously Doom is going to be Tony Stark's, right? So there's a part where they're discussing about, getting rid of the weapons, missiles, nuclear weapons, and all those things. And Latveria is not there in the negotiations. Obviously, it's because Doctor Doom is the one that's in Latveria, and he's not going to come and be part of this world peace type thing, right? But other than that, yeah, I like the movie. I like Ben Grimm. His voice was a little off from the way that he used to be back in the day, but after a while, you definitely don't notice it, right? It goes well with the movie. Not too many jokes in this one. Some of them you get a little bit of a chuckle here and there, but it was a very serious and grounded movie. And for the first time in a long time, we got normal relationships in this movie, and I mean normal relationships. So, yeah, man, it was nice to see, the dynamic of the team. I think they worked very well. The Fantastic Four is not my favorite superhero team, but I do like Reed Richards, and I do think that Sue Storm is the most powerful person in the team, right? Because she has so many powers, telekinesis, invisibility, and all those things, right? So yes, she is the most powerful one. I think obviously Ben Grimm is the strongest one. Johnny Storm is the courageous one, brave. He just goes into danger without actually thinking about things. And then obviously Reed Richards is the brain of the team, and it worked well like that. He didn't use his powers as much, but it's a stretchy guy, so I don't, I'm not so mad about that, right? So he did his thing. It's not a lot, but he did his thing, and yeah, I think the movie was actually pretty cool, and I think you guys should definitely go see it. If I was to give it a rating, I'll say it is a 7, strong 7 to 8 out of 10. And yeah, I think it's definitely the best movie that they've done so far, and they've kind of came back to Marvel. It's not as good as Endgame or any of those movies, but I would say it's close enough to the Avengers, like the first one, right? Without the jokes and whatnot. Obviously, that one was a much grander scale, but the effects in this movie were well done, and going retro city, 1960s. It was kind of cool. It was a cool vibe to it. Yeah, I actually like this movie. It surprised me a lot. I thought I was gonna hate it, but it has a lot of heart in it. You can tell that there's some things that they chopped off in the edits, right, to make the story a little bit shorter. I think there was a bigger story when it comes to the Silver Surfer, the female version, but they only showed a very small part, and then there's some parts with her and Johnny. So if you've seen the trailers, which I kind of avoided doing after a while, you've seen most of the interaction between Johnny Storm and Silver Surfer, and yes, he's still the same, so that's good. They didn't change too much about that, but yeah, man. I don't know what you guys think about what the Critical Drinker has said. Are you going to see the movie yourself? I also just going to see it yourself so that you can make your own decisions. Yeah, man, I liked it. If you have any comments, anything you want to say, drop them down below, and I will see you in the next video. All right, peace.